One of the most popular questions that we get asked is, what's the best stocking list for a tank? And in the old days, I was with everyone else that, fish from different parts of the lake get kept together, and it's a male-only tank. And I, over time, have realised possibly a flawed idea. So we have adopted a new approach. So what we do is we like to mix fish from different parts of the lake because it's more natural. Happy to mix different fish from different lakes that are able to overlap as long as the nutrition needs are catered for and there are sufficient habitat set out for them so that they're happy. It's all about animal welfare, and it's definitely about habitat enrichment. So those are two things that you have to do. And secondly, we've moved away from the male-only approach. I really think that it's a flawed system, and just because everyone's doing it doesn't mean it's great. What does it offer? It offers apparently less aggression, and I don't think that's the case. I think what happens, you often quite literally see the most subdominant male in a male-only tank be forced to act like a female, drop its colouring, mock breed, and get harassed. That animal then starts to not eat as well, and eventually it dies, and it just slowly works backwards from the bottom of the pecking line until you've got less and less fish. So we go with a very different approach. I like to mix females in the tanks. One of the ways that obviously your first port of call in terms of a rebuttal to that would be, well, then they're going to hybridize and they're going to breed. Well, firstly, there are natural mechanisms to prevent hybridization. It does occur, but normally it occurs in vacuums when there aren't the applicable male or female available in the tank. Secondly, we mitigate it by lowering the tank temp to 21, 22 degrees, which lowers the amount of breeding. It lowers fecundity, so therefore there's less pressure, and also the metabolism isn't high, so therefore the fish aren't as quick to be resource guarding. Now, what it does offer, it allows you to fill up the tank with more fish, creating that really chocker habitat or full-looking tank, which people like. Secondly, it creates a crowd, and it's hard to fight in a crowd. It's easy to fight in an octagon, it's harder to fight in a squashed-up bar. So it allows a certain amount of spreading the territoriality over a larger group of creatures. So just to reiterate, we need to mitigate the overbreeding by lowering the temp, so it's not as a massive demand to do that. And secondly, we need to make sure that the nutrition is covered. We need to make sure that if those girls are breeding, maybe you strip them and feed the eggs back to the tank. Now, we like to use colonies of auratus females, colonies of red zebra females, colonies of electric yellows. We like to use colonies suggested to customer today that we send him 10 or 12 beautiful white dragon blood females that would fill the tank up, make it look great, give all of the males someone to focus on, and it fills the tank up, and it's got a mass planting effect. So those large bodies of colour really accentuates the other aspects of colour. We do it all the time, and this is the new approach that we're going with, and I'm really happy with the results. It's in this tank specifically, we've even got multiple species of fish from different parts of the lake. What I notice about this particular is this is possibly my favourite stocking list of any tank I've set up so far. It's not all about colour. Sometimes it's about body shape. Sometimes it's about the nuances. Even the females, the blueness that come through on them. It's exquisite, So we need to get over it's only about pretty males. No, the beauty is in the females. That's where it really comes from. And what's cool about this tank is that the frontosas, I always thought of them as kind of large, bulky fish, but they're not. They're really slow moving. In fact, the fish they resemble to me the most in their movements, in the delicate ballerina type movements that they have, are discus. And we've always used the approach with discus of having a really heavily convoluted branch type tank that they can migrate their way through. And this absolutely has worked for the fronts. They love it. They sit in the big rockwork caves, and then they're able to dance around the logs while the Mbuna do their thing in mid-water, and then you've got your various different peacocks and haps showcasing the colour. So, hope you like this video. Just what we think of our approach. I really believe keeping it natural is possibly the best way, and the results are kind of evident. That's where we're leaning towards. We've moved away from the male-only tank. Do think it's flawed. And yeah, just because everyone does it doesn't mean it's necessarily a great idea. Well, hope you enjoyed watching. Creating natural looking aquariums that are easy to maintain.